Now guys, you know everything you watch lately tells you what not to eat and drink. But what if I told you that there is a drink that is delicious, so delicious it could actually be considered dessert, and it will improve your ability to get and stay stiff, while also actually improving your blood pressure as well as your cardiovascular health. And it gets better. It's fully organic, God-made, and easy to find. Now this stuff is truly nature's Viagra. I call it black magic. There's a reason the Aztec ruler, Montezuma, drank about 50 cups of this stuff a day, mixed with some spices, to satisfy his many wives and concubines. Now, if we look at modern science, the story actually starts in the 1990s with the famous Kuna Indians. Researchers observed that they have a kind of sexual passion with their way of life. And what they discovered changed everything we thought and knew about heart health, longevity, and yes, of course, erections. These people ate a lot of salt. Some of them smoked. And yet, no hypertension, no heart disease, and as they aged, they were still very much enjoying themselves. Genetics didn't explain it. Lifestyle didn't explain it. The one thing they did differently? They drank 5 cups of flavanol-rich cocoa every single day. And in this video, I am going to give you my exact recipe that have been working like magic for everyone who tried it. Now, for many of you watching this video, you obviously want to improve your erections naturally by eating correctly. And I've made it very handy for you, 18 more recipes just like this one. I'll drop the link in the description below. Definitely worth checking out. Now, I want to get back to why cocoa matters so much, not just for cardiovascular health, but for erections specifically. You see, your heart and your erections are connected in a very specific way. There's a reason that poor erectile function can be an early warning sign for possible cardiac problems. And the reason is this. Blood is pumped from your heart through your arteries, and your penile arteries are some of the smallest in your body, which means they're also the biggest warning sign. Because when your cardiovascular system is affected, this is the first place where blood flow starts to decline. Now, from the age of 30, as men age further, testosterone declines, actually by about 1% per year. And as that happens, you get a decrease in blood flow to your erectile tissue, a loss of elasticity in those vessels, and nitric oxide production starts to drop as well. And your penile tissue itself can actually shrink, become atrophied. In plain language, yes, your penis can actually become smaller. Now I want to explain something to you, and it has to do with something called the endothelium. The endothelium is the tissue responsible for producing nitric oxide, and also for controlling how well those tiny arteries in the penis expand and contract. You can think of it like this. Healthy blood vessels when you are younger are flexible, responsive, and wide open. Aging blood vessels, well, they're a bit like a garden hose that's been lying out in the sun for too long. They become rigid. They lose flexibility. An endothelial dysfunction, what we call endothelial dysfunction, is one of the earliest signs of cardiovascular decline. And you are going to notice that decline in your erections long before you notice it anywhere else. So now let's get into what the research says about cocoa. One study followed 15 healthy subjects who drank flavanol-rich cocoa and saw measurable improvements in blood flow within 1 to 4 hours, comparable to what you'd see from nitrate-rich supplements. Another followed 21 subjects over 2 weeks and found consistent improvements measured directly in the artery. And smokers, who are notoriously hard to treat for ED because smoking literally destroys the lining of blood vessels, even they showed improved vessel dilation and increased nitric oxide production, just from drinking flavanol-rich cocoa. But this is the study that really got my attention. 101 men with erectile dysfunction drank a cup of cocoa mixed with chili and spices every single night for 12 weeks. Men with mild ED showed 79% improvement in their scores, moderate ED, 83%, severe ED, 67%. Small study, no placebo group, But that direction and that consistency doesn't happen by accident. Now here's what trips people up. Not all cocoa is the same. The compounds responsible for everything I just described, the flavanols, the proanthocyanidins, are also what make raw cocoa taste bitter. And commercial processing destroys most of that. Heating, alkalizing, refining strips it out. Then, manufacturers add high fructose corn syrup and emulsifiers to make it smooth and sweet. That stuff actively works against your vascular health. What you want is raw, minimally processed, high flavanol cocoa powder. Not Nestle, not Hershey's, the real thing. Here's how to make it. 1 to 2 tablespoons of high flavanol raw cocoa powder into a mug of warm water, not boiling. Add a teaspoon of raw, unpasteurized honey. Half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. A small pinch of sea salt. And if you can handle a little heat, a pinch of cayenne. Stir until fully dissolved. Drink it warm. If caffeine makes your heart race or causes nausea, start with half a tablespoon rather than the full amount. Pay attention to how your body responds. What works for one person won't work for everyone. Now, cocoa works on a cumulative timeline, days and weeks, not minutes. And for the men who want something that works faster, there is a tremendously effective combination of rarely spoken about substances that I want to tell you about. The first is something called apomorphine. It works directly on the brain's arousal pathway, not on blood flow, not on the vascular system, but on the brain itself. When you combine that with icariin and tadalafil, you get something quite remarkable. Because not only does this combination have tremendous success when it comes to arousal and erections, research has specifically linked tadalafil to a 34% lower risk of all-cause mortality, a 27% reduction in major cardiovascular events, a 34% lower risk of stroke, and a 32% lower risk of dementia. The same vascular protection we've been talking about this entire video, just faster acting and clinically backed. It's a fully online process, licensed doctor, no waiting room, works in about 15 minutes. And if you use my link below, there's a discount and free shipping waiting for you. So there you have it, a drink that has been around for centuries, backed by real modern research that you can make in 5 minutes for a few dollars. Start with black magic, be consistent with it, and if you want to move faster, the link is below. So stay strong, stay healthy, and as always, all my love, Emma.